Hello, this is Heather Hoffman, and today I have kind of a fun twist on a Christmassy stamp set, the Holiday Gnomes, to kind of brighten it up and change the colors a little to make a bright, fun, sunny, more of a springtime or winter or even summer theme card. They're pretty easy to switch up. So I'm starting with the stitched raised cover panel. I've already die cut it into some watercolor cardstock, and I'm using 3 colors of distress ink, and I'm using just a clear stamp block to kind of smush some of the ink on and just add some texture to my background and a little bit of a bright splash of color. You notice I just kind of stamped it on a few times. The 3 colors of distress ink I'm using are Wilted Violet, Mermaid Lagoon, and Picked Raspberry. Now I'm going to set that aside and let that dry a little, and I already have one of the cute little gnomes from Holiday Gnomes. I've already stamped it and die cut it, so I'm picking some coordinating Copic colors from my hex chart that I have all colored in. I like to kind of match things up this way, so it was nice to start with the ink on the background and then kind of pick my Copic colors to coordinate with that. I'll write the Copic colors that I'm using up on the screen so you can see, but I kept my coloring pretty simple. I didn't do a whole lot of different shading and stuff like that, partly because I was trying to keep my head out of the video so that I could do the coloring and you could still see. So I pretty much just kind of filled in, and then I came back in with the same color and added a little bit more depth and shading in there as well. It's so fun just to combine different colors. Like I said, the stamp set is kind of designed as a Christmassy, wintry stamp set, but there's no specific Christmas images on it, so it's really easy just by coloring it a little bit different, using some different Copic colors and colors on your background. It totally changes the whole feel of this, and I love doing that. I can't wait to play with some different color combinations with this cute little gnome, and gnomes are so cute and fun anyway to play with. So I've used the 3 coordinating Copic colors there that blend with my ink, and then I'm grabbing a little bit of skin color just to do the face, and then I'm going to come in with some grays just to add a little bit of depth and shading on the areas that I'm leaving a little more white. That'll just kind of add a little bit of a shadowed, shaded effect. So once we're done with the coloring on this, which we're pretty close now, I'm going to go ahead and add a sentiment. Since most of the sentiments in the stamp set are pretty obviously Christmassy, I'm going to add a sentiment from Figure of Speech. It's an older stamp set, and I love these big, bold speech bubble sentiments. They're so fun just to make a statement on a card, and I love that I'm able to, the sentiment on this is almost bigger than the little gnome I'm using, which really makes the words pop and kind of makes that a focal point on the card too. So I'm going to stamp it with Midnight Dye ink using my Misty. As usual, I like to use my Misty so that I can double stamp a black image. You get a perfectly good image with this Midnight Dye ink without doing this. It's just kind of a little thing that you can see on there. It's very nice and very clean and clear, but by stamping it one more time, it just makes it that much bolder and stronger, and I kind of like that added little bit of depth. Now, thankfully, there's coordinating dies to go with this that are super duper easy to use. So I'm going to go ahead and die cut. And before I did that, I actually realized I really wanted a little more blue on my image there, so I just smushed a little more blue over the top real quick. I wanted to be able to let that dry, and I figured that would make the image pop just a little bit better. So that way that can dry now while I quickly die cut out my sentiment using the coordinating dies. You can see how lovely they line up. It makes it really easy to die cut them and get a perfect die cut edge. Then I'm just planning where I'm going to place those. That last little bit of blue is still drying on there, but it won't take very long. I didn't put a lot of water on there. So this way I can get my foam adhesive kind of lined up on my images and all ready to put them in place once I kind of plan where I want to put them. I kind of wanted to tuck a little bit of the gnome's hat kind of around the image, so it took me a little playing to kind of get it where I was happy with it. And that ended up being, and having the foam adhesive ready made it really easy that once I was there, I just popped it on down. And there you go, bright, happy, fun gnome card, stretching your supplies a little. Thanks so much for coming by today. Have a wonderful day.